In this video, we're going to take a look at formatting numbers and currency using our locale. So I still have my default locale getting set up here, and I have the option of uncommenting these lines to change my locale to Germany in this case. That's the one I've been using for demonstration purposes. So I am going to create a number. So I will create a double. Say number equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.123. That looks like a good number to me. Let's print it out one time. And I'll just print out that number. See what happens. Then it prints it out in scientific notation because it's a pretty long number. All right, so let's look at ways to format that number. So to format numbers, we are going to use the number format class. So I'm going to type number format, and I'm going to create a variable called number format equals number format. Its static method called getInstance to which we pass our locale. Now, in order to use number format, it has to be imported. So I'll go ahead and do that. So I've taken the number format class and I've asked it has a factory method that creates a number formatter for us based on our locale, and I've assigned that. So right now my locale is set to US and English, and I'm going to use that formatter to print out the number that we had created earlier. So I'm going to print it out, and I am just going to say formatter, number format, and I'm going to call it, so I'm going to use the formatter, and I'm going to call its dot format method, and I'm going to pass it my number. Okay, so I'm going to say, hey, take that number, run it through the number formatter's dot format method to format it, and then it will print out. And let's see what we get. And I get 1, 2, 3, comma 4, 5, 6, comma 7, 8, 9 dot 1, 2, 3, which is the standard way in the United States that we tend to format numbers. But that's not how everybody does it. Germany, for example, doesn't use commas on long numbers. It uses commas instead of a decimal point, and it uses decimal points instead of commas. So let's change our locale to Germany. I'm going to uncomment those lines. So now our locale will be set to Germany, and let's see how the number formatter takes care of this for us. Okay. And you can see in Germany, 1, 2, 3 dot 4, 5, 6 dot 7, 8, 9 comma 1, 2, 3. So the decimal part in Germany actually follows the comma. That's how they write long numbers in decimals in Germany. And other countries do it different ways. I'm just using English and German because they're good examples to show differences. Actually, I should probably not say English and German. I should say United States and Germany. All right, so we can also use this number format for currency. So let's look at this. Number format, and this time I'm going to do a currency format. So I'm going to call my variable for the formatter, currency formatter. Boy, I just can't type. Equals, and we're going to call the number format class again. But this time we're going to ask it to get us a currency instance based on our locale. Okay, so I have a number formatter here that gave me a number formatter based on our locale. This time I'm doing a currency instance based on our locale, and I'm going to call it currency format. And I'm going to do the same thing for it. I'm going to print out currency format So I'm going to use that currency format object that we created. I'm going to call its dot format method, and I'm going to pass it the number. Okay, so a number format, a regular instance, and then we have a currency instance to format the number as currency. I am going to take us back to the United States by commenting out the locale that put us in Germany. So let's see what this does. So for the United States, it used the $sign. It used 0.12. It rounded the number to 2 decimal places to make it cents. It seemed to work pretty well. Let's go back to Germany now. I'll uncomment that. That should put us back in Germany this time. And you can see that it printed our number with euros using dots to separate the long number and a comma where we normally use a decimal place, and it's set to euros. One thing you need to realize about this is it's changing the format that things are printing. However, it is not automatically converting dollars to euros, because that takes whatever the current exchange rate is, and it takes some calculations. It is only changing the format. It is not converting the currency. Please remember that. If you're doing something with currency that needs to be converted, there will be some programming behind the scenes that has to be done. This is more about displaying it for the user. So we've seen how to format dates using locales. We've seen how to format numbers using locales, and we've seen how to format currency using locales. I encourage you, look up at the chart in your book and try some different country codes and language codes in here. Do some Chinese, maybe try some Chinese, maybe try Korean, and see the differences in the country codes, and how they format their numbers is completely different in a lot of countries. And it's important that we be able to write software so that we can reflect those changes depending on the user's locale. And remember, if I was in China on a computer, when I ran this locale.get default, it would automatically be set to Chinese, depending on how my computer was set up. Okay, so we wouldn't have to be forcing it. It would just automatically adapt to whatever locale the person who's running the software was in.